What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Block is Hot. Now, today is Sunday, but just because it's Sunday doesn't mean we can't go back a day and cover CNFT market updates, because I totally missed the day. I got too busy. So yes, we are covering this week's CNFT market updates, where I go over some of the current stuff happening in the market. And as always, guys, this is not financial advice. This is just me having fun with seals in the background. But yeah, let's get into it. First things first, how does the volume in the overall market look like? And guys, it looks absolutely ridiculous. These wiggle waggles are just all over the place. I mean, we're having days of low as 1 million on the 13th of last month, all the way to highs of 2.5 million, and then swings down all the way to 1.9, all the way down to 1.4. And in this week, we once again had this wiggle waggle where we went from about 1.8 to 1.9, all the way down to about 1.1. And now over the last couple days, we are hitting this 2 million ADA mark. There's a couple different reasons as to why the volume has been going all over the place, as well as the prices of a lot of these different CNFTs. Reason number one is because the whole world, it seems like it's going to shit, guys. I mean, we've been gridlocked between this 28K and 30K with Bitcoin for seemingly forever now, and a lot of assets out there, such as the stock market, have been getting liquidated. And I think a lot of people are wondering if we're going to find support here and have a nice bounce up, or if we're just going to go even lower. The only things that seem to be doing well right now are gas prices and food prices, which isn't great for your boy. The second reason is that we've had two major releases going on this week, which is Cornucopias land as well as Eikonikos. And I genuinely believe a lot of people were selling some of their smaller CNFTs in order to have liquid for these two drops, since they were so big and so hyped up. And one of the things that you guys will notice, if you haven't noticed already when it comes to NFTs, is that people don't have a very long attention span, and they're constantly looking for the new hot thing. And that's why a lot of times when a new NFT comes out, I hold off for a little bit, because whenever I want to see if that hype is literally genuine and is going to be long term, or if it's just a short term thing and it's going to die. But yes, those are the two main reasons. And one of the things that I wanted to bring up here while I was on the topic of Cornucopias and Eikonikos is that buying some of these blue chips right now might actually be a really great play, because so many of these blue chips have been getting sold in order to get into those other drops. And even some of these smaller CNFTs have been going down for the most part. Not ADA Ninjaz, I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, but a lot of NFTs have been going down, and it really is just this movement of money in this ecosystem. The nice thing is, though, guys, is I think it's just a movement of money, and it's not people getting out of CNFTs. I think it's just the ADA moving to different places in the CNFT market. And you can see here, even when Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these things have been going down, for the most part, the actual volume with CNFTs has been doing pretty well overall, especially when you compare it to before January of this last year. Now for the top 10 biggest movers of the week, guys. Number one should come at no surprise, and that is Cornucopias land. And something that I want to point out here, the volume is 2.3 million ADA. That is almost 4 times the amount of ADA as the second largest amount of volume this week, guys. And if you're wondering why all of the prices have been going down on a lot of CNFTs, this is why. I believe the total calculation of ADA when it comes to all the land that they were dropping was over 10 million ADA. So you got to think that ADA is getting taken out of circulation from all of the different projects out there and is being pumped into this one project. And then on top of that, we've had another 2.3 million ADA going in the secondary market. That's why you're seeing so much of these projects going down, guys. The second project on our list is Eikonikos at 654,000 ADA. Number 3 is Salty Seagull Society. 4 is Spacebudz. Number 5 is Adanauts. Vox Cat Rocket Club coming in at number 6. We have Clay Nation at 7. Then we have Yummi, Chilled Kongs, and for number 10, we have Boss Planet Vox Cats. The first project on our list is the Cornucopias land sale. They've actually already released their small, medium, and large plots of land. Tomorrow they're releasing their epic, and then Tuesday is the last sale, the most legendary sale, which is their Copias sale. And that is going to be the largest plot, but also the largest amount of ADA. Now, if you look at these different pieces of land, guys, you'll notice that the commons are actually going for mint or below mint price for every single one of these pieces of land so far. ADAR. This small was going for 175 in the mint, and right now it's 176. But once you take into consideration the 7% total fees, you'd actually be down. And when it comes to medium, you'd actually be down a little bit more because they're going for around 270 to 290. And this was 370 ADAR, around 360 ADAR. And then when you look at the large that costed 530, it is going for 500 ADA. Now, what's interesting about this, guys, is that it's still been worth going for this land even if you pull a common. They have their whole entire rarity sheet on their Discord, and when you actually multiply the floor price times 0.93 to get rid of the fees, and then times it by the percentage chance of it actually occurring, and then adding it up between all the different rarities, you'll actually have an average that's higher than the mint price. So that means it's actually worth going for. And when I first checked what the average was for Cornucopias, you'd actually be up 20% on average if you went for the land. So yes, guys, there was a decent amount of chance that you would have gotten a common and you would have lost a little bit of money, but statistically it still would have been worth going for. And that's been the same situation that has played out with these various different drops. And I truly believe what's happening, guys, is that people don't have the liquidity to go for every single one of these pieces of land, but they still want to try their luck to actually mint it. And maybe some people did the math and they realized, hey, this is still a good buy, but maybe some people just wanted to do the gamble and hope they got like a mythic or hope they got a legendary and got a nice payday. But worst case scenario, if they didn't, they've just been selling this land and putting that ADA into the next drop, which is actually something that I think is a pretty good strategy overall. Now, what I personally believe is going to happen with this land, guys, is that everyone that's been taking L's on this land, why would they buy on the secondary when there are literally additional days to get the land? What I genuinely believe here is that once this land is completely sold out, once the Epic is sold out, once the Copias sells out, we could start to see a rise in these actual NFTs. Because at that point, a lot of people that were flipping their way up now have finished all the flips, and maybe they're going to reinvest and maybe buy some of these pieces of land now that they have the additional ADA and they can kind of pick and choose. And the second thing is hey, you know, I have run out of opportunities to get more land. The first day, if I wasn't able to get a small for some reason, guess what? I have 4 more days, and I still think that's the situation. So personally, I have been minting. I've been a little more careful on these middle plots because it's a little bit more risky to be in this kind of middle zone, but I am going to go for the epic plots tomorrow. I'm going to try to get a couple, and then I'm going to go as hard as possible for the Copias. Copias is going to be very, very hard to get, but I think that land is going to do really well, especially in the long term, and I think a lot of these guilds and mafias out there are going to want to pick up those copious pieces of land just because of the additional utilities that it's going to provide. And also, sorry guys, my throat is all over the place today. It has been a long day, but I'm going to try to power through this. The next project on our list is Eikonikos and their Genesis passports. There were supposed to be 12,345 of these passports at $396 US each. And one of the things that happened, guys, is that they didn't have enough momentum, enough money, enough capital really flow into this project to have that sort of sellout. It was a ton of ADA for a project that hasn't really showcased too much other than some really awesome graphic videos as well as a good job marketing. Now, I want to preface this by saying that I think in the long term, this project can do very well. I just think in the short term, the market wasn't able to handle this, especially since so many people were minting Cornucopias over these Genesis passports just because Cornucopias has been around for a while and there's a lot more clarity with what these are actually going to bring to the table. Now, what they're doing to kind of counteract this, and I think this was a smart move, so props to their team, is that instead of selling 12,345 of these passports, they changed up their game plan. And what they're going to do is that anything that doesn't sell within the next 24 hours, so 4 p.m. UTC tomorrow or Monday, they are going to burn and destroy, and it will no longer be part of the collection, which is awesome, guys. The passports are 700 ADA right now, and the floor for these bronze are around 400 ADA. So I think this was a good move. I think they realized that it was a little too much ADA and that they needed to just have a time frame, a time limit on this to ensure that the secondary market survives. Now, one thing that is interesting here, guys, is that I did the same thing that I did with Cornucopias, where I took the percentage chance of a bronze and multiplied that. I took the percentage chance of silver, of all of them. And when it came to diamond, instead of taking 25,000 ADA, which there hasn't been a sale that high yet, I took 7,000 ADA, which has been sold. And when I added it up, it actually equaled to 837 ADA. So right now, statistically speaking, you would be up after fees 16% in the long run by minting these passports and simply selling them. Now, you could have a really bad run, guys, and you could lose 300 ADA every single time, but right now, it would actually statistically be the advantage to just keep minting these and to sell them. Now, I don't know if that's going to change by the time this video comes out or what happens tomorrow, but I definitely keep an eye on that number. And if you're trying to try your luck, statistically, it's actually a beneficial thing. What I'm personally doing is I'm going to wait and see how many have been sold by that 4 p.m. UTC tomorrow. And maybe a couple hours before, if this number is still relatively low, maybe I mint a couple more, or if that statistical number becomes even better than that 16%. So definitely something to keep your eyes on. I think this project is going to do well in the long run, and there could be some FOMO about a week after this drop for everyone that simply sold theirs or that basically didn't mint because they were worried about it. We also have to realize that their PFP project is also going to be announced and basically revealed soon too, so that could be another catalyst that really sends this flying. So yeah, I've minted too. Maybe I'm going to mint more in a little bit here, but I'm really trying to get into some Copias land, which is, I think, their main problem. Next project here is the Salty Seagulls Society. They're going for around 190 ADA, which is still a pretty healthy floor for the amount of supply as well as their mint price. Their mint price was 120 ADA, so I was a little worried at first, but it's been holding up pretty well. And guys, honestly, these look good. I think the community is developing and they seem like they have a lot of great ideas. I was able to get a decent amount of these. I sold some and I think I've kept like 5 that I'm just going to hold for the long run and see how it turns out. Next project on the list is Spacebudz. Now, Spacebudz ran all the way up to 6,300 ADA and now they're back down to 5,800 ADA. I think this is one of those examples where someone was like, hey man, let me sell my Spacebud. Let me get 6, 7, 8,000 ADA and let me put that into Cornucopias and then I'll just rebuy my Spacebud. And one thing that I want to recommend to everyone that is doing that right now is to actually get a loan on your NFT instead. And I made an entire video about Lending Pond, so make sure to check that out. But if you're low on money, you can actually borrow this ADA from Lending Pond. So if you see here, guys, I don't know why it's not connecting, but I've actually gotten a couple loans already on my NFTs, so I don't have to sell them at really low prices, yet I can still get the liquidity to get into Cornucopias. And that's why Lending Pond is absolutely cracked, and you need to watch that video if you haven't already, because why the heck are people selling their blue chip CNFTs for so low when you can just get a loan on that, basically go for the land, make money from the land, sell that land, and then just repay your loan and keep your CNFT rather than selling it super cheap. So definitely check out Lending Pond. Next project on the list here are the Adanauts. They just revealed these Adanauts, I believe like a day or two ago, and they do look pretty good, guys. I believe these are made of clay as well, and they have a nice look to them. I jumped on their website and I didn't really see anything too crazy planned. They said that they don't have a roadmap, so I have no idea how well these are going to do in the long run, but it does seem like their community is building and they are posting a lot in their Discord, which is a good sign. I'm personally not buying these for now just because they just got revealed. Maybe in 2 to 3 weeks, if they hold their price, maybe I'll buy a couple for the long term, especially if I notice them do or announce anything cool. Next project here, Vox Cat Rocket Club. We're finally back in the top 10 with Vox Cat, and I'll tell you what, guys, I think Vox Cat might be an absolute steal right now. I believe their alpha gameplay for Boss Planet is going to come out relatively soon, maybe in the next month or two. And if you've watched my swing trade video, you'll know that I like getting into into projects during the boring phase, but sometimes it's really hard to even pay attention to projects in the boring phase. But they have been working behind the scenes for a couple months now, and I think they're actually about to drop some bombs on us. So I'm going to be looking into getting back into Vox Cat, especially since it sounds like that game is about to come out soon and all of these other utilities. So definitely keep your eyes on this, guys. That 1000 ADA level is pretty attractive. It went below that a little bit, but I don't know how much lower this is really going to go. So yeah, on to the next one. Yummi Universe is our next project on the list, and this is a project that has actually been going on a really big run this week, whereas most of the CNFTs in the market have been going down. They went all the way from 500 ADA to about 1000 ADA, and now they've had a pullback down to 900 ADA. There's a couple reasons why this happened, guys. Reason number one is their staking as well as their utility token, Yummi, is actually pretty valuable. What you can do, guys, is that depending on how rare your Yummi is, you get a different amount of Yummi tokens, and then you can use those Yummi tokens in order to buy different CNFTs that are coming out. Now, I don't know how they've made these partnerships. They've already had a couple drops. I don't know what kind of deal they have there to convince them to accept Yummi rather than ADA, but it's pretty nice, guys, because you're actually able to get some of these new projects for a token that you're getting for free from staking your Yummi, and then you can sell that new NFT project in order to get ADA. Also, they have been basically doing some sneak peek kind of teasing stuff that their actual game, which is like their whole Pokemon thing, is going to be coming out relatively soon. I heard that this alpha gameplay might even come out next month, guys, but I haven't been able to verify that. And someone had said that you needed to have 25 of these Yummis in order to access that alpha gameplay. I can't verify that information though, guys, because I went on their whole entire white paper and I wasn't able to find that anywhere. So maybe someone in the comments can clarify that for me. The next project on our list is Clay Nation, and they are currently at 3000 ADA. What's insane about Clay Nation, guys, is that the majority of the CNFT market has been going down, especially a lot of these blue chips, because they cost so much ADA, so someone can sell one blue chip, get a bunch of ADA for liquid, rather than needing to sell 20 different NFTs to get the same amount. However, Clay Nation has literally maintained the price and has actually gone up to this 3000 ADA level. Now, there's a couple exciting things happening with Clay Nation, guys. One of the big things is that Clay token is going to come out at the end of the month in late June. And soon they're going to release a new updated white paper that's going to cover that token in more detail. Currently, we know that about 20% of all the Clay tokens are going to go to NFT holders of Clay Nation and basically all of their different products and all of their different releases. Now, not all of that is going to be in the front end, but we have to realize, guys, that all of these clays have been accumulating this Clay token the entire time. So something I'm pretty bullish about, you're going to get governance with this Clay token, and there's going to be other things that they update in that white paper. So definitely something to keep an eye on. And thank you to everyone that clarified this drop a little bit more to me last week. I wasn't really able to find too much information on their Discord. I had to dive into their white paper a little bit more. But yes, I love Clay Nation. I think it's probably the best CNFT project out there based on everything that they've been doing, and I want to get back into this project. I'm probably going to wait until after that Clay drop. I'm hoping that this goes down a little bit. I have no idea, but if I can get back in around 2500, then I probably will buy one. The next project on the list is Chilled Kongs, and they went from about 3000 ADA all the way down to 2500 ADA, and this is another situation where a lot of blue chips have simply been getting sold. I also think there was so much hype and so much buildup for these Mutant Kongs, and it's kind of just taking a while. It's like, where is this? Where is this? You know, we've been waiting for it. So I think a lot of people have been selling just in the sense that they've been waiting for a while and also for that liquidity. And once again, guys, if you have these Chilled Kongs, do what I'm doing. Get a loan on it if you need liquid rather than freaking selling it for this low price. I do think these are going to go up if those basically trippy Kongs look good, but if they don't look good, that could be something that really hurts the price, guys. So just keep that in mind. I'm not super comfortable buying in at 2500 though. If this somehow got down to 2000, I'd be a lot more comfortable, but this might be the support, so keep an eye on it. It's a little risky though, waiting for those trippy Kongs, because we just have no idea what they look like, and God forbid they don't look good and then this price just drops down a lot. Next project on the list is Boss Planet Vox Cats. These Vox Cats have been dropping all the way down to 200 ADA. They were chilling at 240, 250 ADA for a while. I actually think this is a really really good price, guys. We know that alpha gameplay is coming out soon and that they've been working on it for a while, and that these Vox Cats are going to have a lot of different utilities for that, some of which they haven't even clarified. I think that this is a good price though. I'll probably buy a couple of these and just hold it and see what happens when their whole entire boss planet comes out, or once more information is posted about it. Their actual jetpack ones have been going absolutely crazy too, guys. I wonder if I can just type in jetpack and show you. Yeah, it's not going to pop up that way, but they've been going absolutely crazy because you're going to need a jetpack in order to fly with your Vox Cats, and people have been paying a lot for them. The next project here are ThoseAMAs, and I actually just did an interview with the owners this past week, and man, did it make me a lot more bullish on this project. They just have so many different utilities that they're going to provide, and they're really going to have a lot of passive income streams. The owners are super cool. They're very experienced. They're already successful with businesses in the real world, and not just the NFT world. And they're going to be distributing a lot of those profits to holders of those AMAs. So definitely a project to keep your eye on. I haven't bought one of those AMAs yet, but I actually bought their token that was on the interview that is also going to give you passive income. And those tokens were only 69 ADA. I bought 21 of them, so I spent like 1,400, 1,500 ADA on this project. And I'm just going to hold those for the long term and wait for a lot of those passive income revenue streams to start coming in. Next project on the list is Introverts. The reason that I wanted to bring up Introverts is that I also had an interview with them this week, and I really like Marcus, and I think that this is the potential to be a blue chip. They definitely have a lot going on. The art is very unique. A lot of people really like these, and they've been developing the community. The next 12 weeks too, guys, they're doing a lot of Inner Cosmos airdrops where they're giving away a lot of these Introverts as well as their membership passes. And if you're able to get those passes and these Introverts, that is kind of in a way a passive income because they can be worth a decent amount. And some of these Introverts aren't floor pieces either, guys. They can be worth 700-800 ADA. So definitely a project to pay attention to. Once this whole Cornucopias deal is over, I'll probably buy a couple more in the long term just because I do think that this is a project to stay. Next thing here is the Spaceturion card by Outer Space Society. They're finally having their drop for their aliens, guys, on the 10th, and then on the 9th, they're doing their final snapshot for everyone that holds these cards. There's two different cards. They have these regular cards, and then they have the FE cards, and those cards are going to give you whitelist access into the mints as well as a discount. So something to pay attention to. I usually like selling stuff before the actual utility is utilized, but this might be one of those situations where you hold on to those cards. Like Spaceturion has been working on stuff for a while. I remember when these cards came out, and they've definitely been taking their time in building the community and taking a slow approach, and their actual art sneak peeks have been looking good as well. So definitely something to keep your eye on. Maybe you do keep this card in order to get into that mint. Now, if you don't have the card already, I think it's a little bit more risky, but if you're having the card, maybe you just hold on to it. Next project on our list is Ninjaz RMR. Now, these Ninjaz have actually all been going up a lot, and if you watch my interview that I recommended everyone to watch, you'll know that they have a lot of exciting things coming up. Their alpha gameplay should be out in the next week or two. They're going to have their Ninjaz token airdrop and all the benefits from the Ninjaz token within the next 1.5 to 2 months, and then they're also having a great ninja burn where a lot of these ninjas are going to be burned. One of the big problems with Ninjaz is that they just have so many ninjas. There's 8,888 in 3 different collection sizes. So you have about a 45 ADA floor for their Atusku, and then if you look at their Daisaki, and Daisaki, how do I spell it? The Daisaki are going for around 38. And these actually look really good, guys. They're animated, they have different sounds, they have really nice backgrounds. Like, I'm honestly impressed with this team. And I actually love talking to the owner in our interview because it really made me a lot more bullish about this project. They've been taking a slower approach, really building up the community, really focusing on doing things the right way. And I expect that as we get closer to this game, as well as those ninja tokens, that these could end end up having a nice little run. The next project on our list are Mutant Crocs. Now this is another project where I just talked to the owner Andy recently and got a bigger breakdown of what they're really building here. They already have with Mutant DAO an incredible staking system, and what they're going to do is they're going to offer that service to project owners, so project owners can go to them and they can start staking their own NFTs and get their own token for their own project. And this is actually what we're going to do for Jelly Cubes, guys. We're going to be able to stake our Jelly Cubes on Mutant Crocs' site, and then we're going to be able to get block tokens that you guys are going to be able to claim, and it's going to be a really nice distribution process. Now, the interesting thing about actually staking on their platform is that you need to own 9 of their NFTs, and you need to own at least 1 of each family. So you can own 1 croc, 1 toad, and then 7 mice, essentially. Now, what they're doing with a lot of that money, on top of a lot of projects needing to buy 9 of their NFTs, is that they're going to be taking the fees from that, and they're going to be buying back up some of their mutants. So I'm actually bullish on this project. I'm bullish on what Andy is creating, and I really think that staking is going to help a lot of smaller projects out there that have a hard time coding these different smart contracts for the staking. Next project on our list is the Mandrillz. Now, Mandrillz have had a pullback. I believe they were at like 450, 400 ADA, and now they've had a pullback all the way down to 286 ADA. The reason that I'm bringing up these Mandrillz is that if you're in the Discord, they have been teasing that they are releasing some crazy stuff in the nearby future. I think once some of that stuff is announced, that this floor could continue to go up. Last week, I did a whole breakdown of every single thing that they're releasing, so if you wanted more information on that, watch last week's or simply go on their Discord and read up on it. But I have definitely been keeping all my Mandrillz. I think I sold 2 out of like I think I have like 25 or 26 right now, and I sold 2 of them. But for the most part, I'm holding them, and I am bullish on this for the long term. Last project of the list today, guys, holy crap, is Claypez. I said it right. I got all the haters in the chat. It is Claypez. Claypez have been going down from like 150 ADA or whatever it was at all the way down to this 100 ADA level. And this is a prime example, guys, of why I usually sell on the news, because we have if you're a swing trader, because we have no idea what exactly they're going to announce. Or you can do the whole lending pond thing where you get a loan on it and you go that route. Now, they released their roadmap, and essentially, guys, they're going to have different airdrops for Claypez holders. They're going to do different collabs in the space. They're going to try to secure whitelists to give away to people. They're going to have a DAO. They're going to have merch. They're eventually going to have mutated Claypez. And one of the big things that they're trying to do as well is a rug protection system, where depending on how many Claypez you have, if you buy a project and you get rugged, they are going to cover that ADA using their royalties. Now, how do I feel about everything? Well, I like everything besides that rug protection. I think that is a prime example of people that are going to be able to take advantage of the system. And I think those royalties would be better used on developing the project the other ways. I like how they're not just keeping the royalties as an owner and they're trying to find a creative way and a unique idea to use those royalties, but I just see a bunch of people getting rug pulls and basically getting these ADA distributions when maybe they got into a rug pull on purpose. Maybe it was their own project that they got into a rug pull. And then it becomes the question, what exactly is a rug pull? Is a rug pull a project that sells and then they stop chatting? Is a rug pull a project that simply isn't doing well in the secondary market? Like, what the heck is a rug pull? How do you classify that? Some projects aren't even trying to be rug pulls. They just don't know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's an interesting concept. I like the idea. I like that protection aspect, but I don't think that's the best way for them to use their royalties. And I think that's why they have had a slight dip in price. Now, I still like the way these look a lot. They do look cool. And I do think that this could be a potentially good buying situation. I think they should change their whole entire royalty structure, though. As far as my purchases as well as my sales go, I pretty much have just been taking a lot of my blue chips, putting them on Lending Pond, getting ADA, and then using that ADA into basically getting Cornucopias land. I'm bullish on Cornucopias land in the long term, and when you do the math, it still has been worth going for all these different pieces of land, even though you're going to lose money on the commons and potentially even lose money on the uncommons. I'm going to also use the ADA that I have left in order to get into the drop tomorrow, as well as get into the Copias drop. I'm really bullish on the Copias drop. I understand that it's going to be really hard to get this land, but I'm hoping that I can at least get one of those pieces pieces of land. The last thing that I wanted to do in this video was to clear up some confusion. If you look in the description of this video, you are going to see a link tree that says linktree/block investment group. This link tree is going to have all the important links that you need in order to stay up to date with Jelly Cubes, to stay up to date with the community, and to basically just stay up to date with stuff. If you see here, guys, the bottom link is our BIG block investment group stake pool that you can stake to help out the channel. We're going to do whitelist, we're going to do a bunch of stuff with this whole entire stake pool. You can also see the YouTube channel, which you probably have my YouTube channel by now. You're also going to see my personal Twitter, which is the Block is Hot Twitter, where I post a lot of different stuff about CNFTs, or at least try to post a lot of different stuff about CNFTs. Now, these top three are very relevant to what we're doing here. If you click on the first one, you are going to be taken to our Jelly Cubes website, where you're able to see all the important information that you need to know about our first drop. You're also going to be able to see our Twitter, which is the Block Investment Group Twitter, and please make sure you follow this, guys. We are slowly growing our following here. We've gained 1,400 followers in the past week, which is awesome, but I definitely know a lot more people watch this video that are interested in this project than that, so make sure to give that follow, because we're giving additional information on here and just doing fun stuff. And obviously, guys, if you're, participating in these different things, I just want to say thank you. The amount of support that we've had with this project is absolutely insane, and it means a lot to me. The last thing that you guys need to know is the Block Discord. Now, this Block Discord serves multiple purposes. One, it is the community aspect where anyone can go on this Discord and chat about different projects, see release calendars, get second opinions, and honestly just have a fun time. You're also going to get all the information and important announcements about Jelly Cubes in this Discord as well. And the last main benefit for this, guys, is that once you have a Jelly Cube, you are going to get a role in this Discord. That role is going to open up all of these private channels that are for the actual alpha group that we're going to have. So everything is in one place. Everything is in one home. And if you're already in this Discord and you have the taco role, which is going to be the whitelist, then make sure that you have your wallet verified. There's a verify wallet channel. A lot of your wallets are probably already verified because it's through CNFT bot, but if they aren't verified, make sure to verify them, because that's how I actually get your address, guys, for the release of this project. That's how I get all the addresses. But yeah, exciting stuff. Thank you guys so much for all of your incredible support and for everyone watching the video and liking the video of the project that we're creating here. I'm super excited about this, and it's really a movement. It's really going to be awesome. If you haven't watched the video, please watch it, because I go into a lot more in depth there, and there's so much exciting stuff. But yes, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that's supporting. It was pretty hard for me to take this uncomfortable step. It was honestly really difficult. So to see so many people love the project, love Jelly Cubes, are happy with it, like it's just my baby, right? Like, it's just my baby, and it's cool that you guys have been enjoying it and supporting it, and like, I can't thank you guys enough. Like, you guys are awesome, and I'm so thankful for everyone that's subscribed, that watches the videos, that's commenting, that's in the Discord, that's following, that's engaging. Like, you guys have made this process so much more easier for me, and I've really taken a lot of stress off my shoulders, especially everyone that's been wanting to help and support it. So yeah, thank you guys a lot. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry that my brain was a little bit slow today. It is overloaded right now, and have a good day.